Hello and welcome to this episode, and in this episode we discuss about how memory is allocated for variables. Even though we have talked about this in the variables episode, we want to recall about this once again and make sure that you understand this concept correctly. So for example, whenever we want to create a variable, so let's go and declare and define a variable. For example, I'm creating int num1 and then I'm giving this an initial value of 0, right? And also, you know that each of our variables, they have data type, they have name, they have an initial value, and they also have a space in memory. So basically, this definition of a variable is a space in memory that has been created. This space of memory has been given a name of num1, and inside of that memory we have the value 0 stored. So when we are using the scanf function to read from the user, so for example I have the scanf function, I'm reading an integer from the keyboard and I'm storing it in num1. That means that whenever I'm storing this num1 in here using the scanf function, whatever value that was previously stored in num1, that is going to be replaced when I'm using this num1 here in the scanf function. So when we are reading into memory, whatever value that was there before in the memory, it will be erased and it will be replaced with a new value. So for example, if this is memory and this chunk of memory is called num1 and initially it had a value of 0, once we used scanf to store the number from the user in the num1 variable, then what happens is that this is going to be replaced with the new value that the user provided to the scanf function. Probably this was 27. Now whenever we are reading from memory, that is non-destructive. That means that if I read this number 1,000 of times, this value is not going to be changed. For example, we did some calculations later on in the previous episode. We said that sum is equal to num1 plus num2. Now in this case, we can use this num1 and we can read it as many times in as many statements as possible, but this value 27 is not going to be replaced and it's going to be there permanently till the end of our program. So for writing into a variable, when we are writing into a variable, the operation is destructive and whatever value that we have in this part of memory is going to be replaced with the new value. However, if we are reading from the memory, that this operation is not destructive and this num1 is not going to be destructed and it's going to be there forever. And that is the concept of the destructive and non-destructive nature of reading and writing into memory or reading from memory. I hope this has been helpful and I will see you in the coming episodes.